Do you like Sins videos? Do you want 3 extra ones all in 1 week? Then go to patreon.com/CinemaSins and sign up, because this year during Sin Week, every single tier gets access to 3 bonus Sins videos the week of April 4th, 2022. There are, of course, lots of perks for the higher tiers, like Sin commentaries, monthly bonus podcasts, access to Sin Week panel live streams, and more. Only $3 for access to the 3 bonus Sins videos and more. Go for it! Sign up, get snacks, hype yourself up. Sin Week 2022, beginning April 4th. Why would the Wichita airport ever be this bustling outside of some kind of evacuation? Wichita is like... Holy sh**! Wichita is nearly 400,000 people! The sin now shifts to the tourism department of the city of Wichita for somehow letting most of America believe it was a very small town. Roy spots this figurine and purchases it to house a super battery, which is fine, except for the questions. How would he know that the toy was hollow? How was he able to slice it in 2, insert the battery, and reassemble it so it would confidently stay together during the remainder of the movie's shenanigans? And how did he do all that in the time it took June to get from the ticket counter up the escalator? Don't say because he's a spy.
So I'm gonna make it onto the earlier flight, right?
You gonna check that?
The lady just asked about her flight. Answer the woman! Also, there aren't 2 guys with blue shirts behind her in this shot, but now there are. If you bump into someone in an airport this hard, you should definitely check for all your valuables.
Hairdryer.
Packing a hairdryer. What are the odds you bump into the same guy in the same airport 30 minutes apart? Unbelievable odds is what you call that. The casinos would shut down all the games and the exits would slam shut with unfortunate steel bars. This is an alarm bell worthy coincidence.
I'm sorry, you're not on this flight.
Well, I just checked in for this one like 10 minutes ago.
I guess the idea here is that in the past 10 minutes, everyone assigned to this flight that isn't a secret agent has been sent away, like June. In which case, why isn't there a line of angry people yelling at the flight attendant? They get yelled at when a passenger forgot their own luggage, so being sold a ticket to a flight that is immediately canceled would be legitimately infuriating. Were these secret agents simply hanging out in the airport ready for anything? They're all available aboard this flight with Roy to detain him or kill him just on a whim? If they're all at the airport, why risk flying anywhere with him? Get him on the plane, taxi out to the field, and detain the man.
Sometimes things happen for a reason.
What a dick! Viola Davis plays the same hard-ass government agent she played in Suicide Squad, only with less eating.
Does he have the Zephyr or not?
No, but does he have the God's Eye, the Rabbit's Foot, and the Allspark? MacGuffin Multiverse Unite!
There's nobody on the plane.
Which is something to be really happy about instead of confused and furious about. You know, considering you were clearly lied to.
I hope this isn't gonna be a rough flight.
She says this after a couple turbulence bumps, so this can't be foreshadowing, and yet it is.
And Kansas has the best scrap.
The movie body slams Kansas, and yet Kansas will not fight back, largely because it is an unpopulated wasteland, except for that one larger-than-we-thought town, Wichita.
I used to think that...
Before you go any further, can I interest you in this important pamphlet titled Why Talking to Strangers on a Plane Makes You a Bad Person? It's super short. Here, I'll read it to you. Plane rides are not a time for random socialization. No one is here to meet you. Shoosh.
Just drive and drive till I got to the tip of South America.
She makes this sound easy, but passing from one South American country to another is not as easy as going from Canada to the United States.
Someday. It's a dangerous word. This is really just code for never. I think a lot about things I haven't done. Dive into Great Barrier Reef. Ride the Orient Express. Live on the Amalfi Coast with nothing.
The reason why Tom Cruise does all his own stunts and keeps pushing himself further and further ends up as straight-up dialogue in this movie's script.
Did you see his hands? By any chance?
You were talking to yourself in the mirror.
Occupado!
Those didn't sound like knocks. Those sounded like violence. She may be distracted, but she's not completely without senses, is she? Since he definitely has to tell her everyone on the plane is dead at some point, why did he put all the bodies into seats so it would look normal when she walked out of the bathroom? Padding the runtime? I just realized that this entire plane fight only works if the woman takes forever in a bathroom cliche is in play. Neat.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. An emergency?
He can land this plane himself, as we will soon see, and he doesn't want to be found right now since people are trying to kill him and stuff. So why use the radio at all? Is there an FAA rule about having to notify by radio when a plane is going down even if it's full of dead evil secret agents?
That's a truck!
Yep.
That's a truck!
Yep.
That's a truck!
And that's a windshield, and that's a button, and that's a doohickey, and that's a thingamabobber. Are we done stating the obvious?
I see it.
Backseat piloting.
And you need to avoid getting in any vehicle with him at all costs.
All great things to tell a person who was about to go unconscious for 18 hours. June passes out with her arms somehow locked around Roy's neck, which is its own sin. Then we have a big explosion and cut to June in her bed back home, which forces us to fill in the blanks to the following questions. 1. How did he move her from a cornfield in the middle of nowhere to her house? 2. Are we to believe that nobody stopped him to ask about carrying an unconscious woman around her neighborhood? Storing your television remotes on the goddamn fridge. If you make an omelet and then leave it in a covered pan over the burner you used to cook it, right, it will overcook. But if you put it in a covered pan on a cold burner, it will get cold in not very much time. Point is, I bet you anything this omelet tastes like ass.
You're on that flight from Kansas, right?
Yeah.
I saw on the news about the crash.
What news?
Anyway, you're alive.
And I guess that's all Rodney needs to know about her flight that she just said she was on that crashed. None of the question here, just checking in on that boner.
Will you join us inside the car for a moment?
He did warn her this would happen, so why does she seem so surprised? Did she wake and find a sudden ass-tasting omelet and still somehow decide all that plane stuff with the assassin guy was a dream?
About whom then? Simon Feck?
Simon Feck is the single fakest sounding name I have ever heard in my entire life. Why not Andrew Shart, or Peter Botch, or Mike Darn?
The dog's on your back!
That is entirely unhelpful. The dot is not on his back at all. Jesus. There is no goddamn way the driver of this vehicle did not hear that. I don't care if she's on the fucking phone, you idiots. The bullet looks like it should not only have clipped June's shoulder, but also gone through Roy's face. And though I do not want anyone the movie plot favors to die, because that would upset the writer gods, they should absolutely be dead 10 times already. So the sin, as always, is Tom survives this. Wow, he was able to fling that dead man's dead weight out the door with pinky strength. I realize she's scared and confused, but he clearly just saved her life for a second time. If he was a danger to her, she would be dead. But instead of staying where he told her, she runs across the yard of a dozen deadly train tracks, where other henchmen could be for all she knows. Literally, the only explanation for him finding her on this bus this quickly is that he put a tracking beacon on her or something. He suggests they go get pie, and then they leave the firehouse and walk to a place that serves pie. Get seated, order pie, receive pie, and he's eaten half of his pie before she's even tried to explain her situation to him. I know Hollywood likes to start conversations in one setting and finish them in another, for some reason, but this is too far.
In case you didn't notice, Rodney is a fireman, okay? So he's perfectly capable of handling any situation that comes up.
Even the landing the plane in a cornfield like last night? Rodney seems just dweebish enough. I'm not even sure I trust him to fight my fires for me. But even if he's capable as a fireman, he's clearly nothing compared to this superhero secret agent guy. Stop lying! Just say you were scared instead of lying.
I'm the guy. This is the guy.
This is the guy.
I'm the guy.
The guy.
I'm the guy.
You are a guy.
Guys,
Okay. Sorry. Thought you're making a move.
I'm trying to not enjoy this movie, but the casual way Tom is playing this character makes me laugh, despite knowing with all my heart he should be dead 1,000 times over by now. There are some fake-ass exteriors out these car windows during this scene. Guess they blew their car scene budget on that big freeway chase and shootout, and had to move indoors to the green screen for the rest of the film's driving scenes.
Your life expectancy is like you.
I guess? We don't get to see June try and make it on her own for very long before Roy inserts himself to save her. Would she be able to manage to survive? They don't let us see that story develop. He spends several seconds with hand measurements to explain how her life expectancy is greater with him than on her own, instead of just telling her why. Trust me or you'll be dead really only works in the early moments of a crisis. Eventually it's easier to just give her answers. No, your life expectancy is higher with me because would be so easy. Gas prices. Every TV in the movies is always playing the news. In real life, this gas station TV, if it's even allowed by management and an operating condition, is tuned to reruns of fucking People's Court, or else it's on sports. This cashier here, he gives no shits about the latest news. I love how this convenience store keeps the Pringles and Mentos on lockdown behind the counter, along with the gift card, lighters, and lotto tickets. Who the steals Pringles?
That little thing there is the first perpetual energy source since the sun.
But the sun is dying! The sun is guaranteed to die! That is the opposite of perpetual. Stop misusing words!
Guy invented it, barely out of high school. Simon Feck.
I see. Now that the bad guys aren't chasing them anymore, for reasons, he has time to super slowly and casually tease out the details of the reasons why she's in danger and must trust him.
Fitz set me up, made it look like I went rogue.
Well, duh. Of course, the more evil spy man would find a way to lie and cover up what he was doing. The more ridiculous part of the scenario is that Roy didn't have a backup plan to try and bring in another person to witness Fitz's double-cross, or stow away evidence in a locker to be found upon his death or something. That's like spy 101.
So what's next?
How can they even hear each other with the top down? There should be hella wind noise right now. If the car is turned off, how is she reclining? If there were a super old brick warehouse next to the Brooklyn Bridge on the Brooklyn side, then it would be in all the iconic photos of the Brooklyn Bridge from the Brooklyn side, but it is not. Therefore, building is CG or background is CG, but the composition is fake as shit. Somebody has a homing beacon on someone, goddammit!
Are they Fitzgerald's guys?
No, it's other guys.
Because this movie definitely needs more ways to spice up the plot. You know, because so far we have a straightforward, boring love story between two strangers that met on a plane and found so much in common that they ran off together. She runs out early and is shot at multiple times by stormtroopers, apparently.
June.
This is on you, Roy, or Tom, or whatever your name is. You gave the nervous girl the machine gun.
Ready, set, go!
I guess this movie will continue to use being drugged as a simple way to transition around the globe without explanation or accountability. They escape a militia to an aircraft and skydive into the ocean that somehow has a boat waiting for them, all while she's unconscious. I mean, I'm having a blast watching this, but this is ridiculous. And when do they stop for food? How many days in a row can you wake up in a strange place after being knocked out before you straight up go Tasmanian devil on your whole environment?
Hey there, sleepyhead.
Yep, June can absolutely hear whatever you just said over the distance and the waves.
You drugged me again, Roy.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Having to explain this. But also, this guy is ultimately going to be a hero. But he has so far lied to her several times, drugged her several times, and essentially kept her prisoner several times. Let's hear it for the boy!
How did I get in the bikini?
Man, June would be excellent at CinemaSins.
June, I've been trained to dismantle a bomb in the pitch black with nothing but a safety pin and a junior mint.
Why would you have a single junior mint or even a box of them while you were dismantling a bomb?
I think I could get you in and out of some clothes without looking.
That is not the point. Also, what about feeling, huh? You can't change her into a bikini using your smell and hearing, can you? What the f*** is happening?
No, I didn't make a call. I took a call.
You took a call?
The entire point of the movie is that Cruz's character is always one step ahead of everyone else. Except here, where he gets surprised, because I don't know why. He had the foresight to put her in a bikini, but not disable her phone? While sleep stretching, June knocks down the note he left for her. And that's why you always leave a second note. How is June carried from the helicopter into a f***ing train while unconscious with no one raising an alert about some highly suspicious activity? In this movie, the entire world has no questions about passed out grown women being carried around in broad daylight. Now that she's in the dining car, is there any doubt the note she knocked off the lamp said, "Do not leave this room"? Man, CinemaSins would be excellent at movies.
Here you go.
Can you die that fast from a stab wound? A knife fight in a kitchen on a train, eh? Under Siege 2 called and said, look, we realize we are an inferior sequel that many people forgot, and even more people never saw in the first place, but technically, we did this first. After manhandling Roy into the corner, the assassin goes after a temporarily disoriented Roy, instead of killing or grabbing Simon. Roy said this guy was a platinum-grade assassin, but this is a copper-level move. I will now spend several minutes contemplating the chef's reasoning for allowing some of the vegetables to live on the windowsill while the other vegetables cannot. Were these special to him? Is there a ranking system outside of ripeness? How are they staying perfectly perched on the sill despite the train moving along the tracks? Okay, even if I buy that her slamming on the handle of this knife would remove the knife from the potato and send it flying backwards, which I do not. Have you ever slammed a knife into a potato and then tried to shake the potato off the knife? It's nearly impossible. There is no way that knife would go flying backwards with such speed and force as to push itself 3/4 of the way into this man's fucking chest. This might be some of the worst live-action physics on display since Hook. Today I learned that a chef will die of a knife to the back, but an assassin won't die when his heart is pierced. It's a strange anatomical anomaly. Knight takes Rook, but look, he was outgunned, outmanned, outnumbered, outplanned. He had to make an all-out stand. He died with sausages in his right hand, man. Sizable sausages are seemingly somehow strong enough to sturdily steady a strong, seriously sick sociopath. Probably. Oh, f*** you, movie. Boy, she's getting the tour of the whole world. And what did she do again? Wrong place, wrong time? I think that was all, right? How is a Hall & Oates radio pin not supposed to stand out in 2010? What is she, Miss Marple? She's gone from terrified about everything happening to her to actively investigating while knowing she could easily be killed.
She's a nobody. Someone I picked up along the way.
Eavesdropping.
Has Roy Miller said anything to you that's proven to be true?
Well, he said the plane was going to crash, and it did. He said the coconut water had electrolytes, and it does. He said a lot of true shit to her.
Any love, empathy? We train that right out of them.
Protocol for training new CinemaSins writers somehow makes its way into the script. Does this hotel room have a mini, skinny oven hood? And where does it blow? Looks like everything goes right back out into the hallway, since it's well below the top of the door frame.
I don't know what to believe.
That's because you just met Roy, and in this short time have amassed an entire series of questionable experiences. On the list, he changes your clothing without permission, drugs you without question, and knows where to buy Hall & Oates pins. Super sketchy situation, June. We understand why you're confused. Tom Cruise always has to run cliché.
Get in the car!
No need, she will delightfully run herself into any awaiting vehicle despite the obvious indicators that she is in peril. Roy gets shot and falls into the water, and I am as certain he's dead here as I was when Jason Bourne got shot and fell into the water at the end of Ultimatum. Wait, they didn't put her in the car last night and leave town? They put her in the car so she could be involved in a highly classified spy mission? Jesus, this movie doesn't give a about logic. She's back on the plane. She believes this is all over. She is very naive. She attends her sister's wedding. She believes this is all over. She is very naive. In an attempt to evade pursuit, she causes a 7-car jam-up, from which only she is able to escape and take the nearby exit. Do I have that right? Roll.
And we can afford to stay. thanks to Publishers Clearinghouse.
That is a massive picture.
Come and get it.
Why would these assassins let her live? Why drag her body around the world when she has the Zephyr right there? Shoot her and take it. Movie done. She is amazing at defeating or at least drowning out the fancy truth serum, which is cool, but why? Roy begins to whip the bad guys up into the air, and I'm not sure, 1, where he is perched to be able to systematically lift the enemy out of the garden, and 2, how he's able to lift one guy up and then race to keep pace with the party and gain enough ground to get the next man. Roy is only one person.
You're supposed to be home.
You're supposed to be dead.
Wish both of you were one or the other so this thing could end. I'm not even sure who is who or who is good or who is bad, and I just want an ending. Let's go already!
I think we'd have really great sex.
Did they give you something?
Why does she have to have been given something to have an opinion about sex? I mean, yes, they did give her something, but still. Someone has to defend a woman's right to get horny on her own, and I'm that guy. Tom Cruise always has to drive a motorcycle cliche. I love how all this is just coincidentally happening during the running of the bulls in Pamplona. Like, just part of the hilarious timing of all this. For how horny this movie is, I'm surprised she's not jacking him off right now. The cars that pull around after June and Roy are silver, then black, then silver again. It bugs me. Stop! He will not shoot! For reasons. Gunfire is a dick to chill birds.
It's unstable.
And does he also know the algorithm that will determine its exact rate of degradation? Because clearly Roy is confident in his timing on handing the battery over before it blew up in his own pocket. Check out that perfectly acceptable explosion designed to encompass the helicopter. Such a humble explosion for a battery that bragged about being able to power a city. I wanted more! Someone cared about Roy so much they sent an arrangement of asparagus and poison ivy. Also, yeah, because there's no way the agents would have taken his phone before now.
We're gonna transfer you to a secure facility tomorrow for your safety.
And we're telling you that we're killing you in the super duper secret code that you also know about, so you have time to escape somehow. You're not even in handcuffs. Be free, silly bird!
What did she give me?
Protein 0.
Which she magically acquired the knowledge of where to find and how to properly dose in just the nick of time. And snuck into a hospital, posed as a nurse, and got into the room of a secret agent. But also, why would a secret agent blindly swallow medicine given to him by a faceless nurse?
Going to the mortuary.
In these cute bits.
Don't worry, Roy. I got this.
Phew! For a second there, I was wondering who would follow up with Roy's post-op recovery for his gunshot wound. But June's got it, so we're good.
Someday, Roy.
This ending is creepy as hell. This movie is like watching a Fast and Furious movie crossed with the President Teen Daughters in Love movie with f***ing misery tacked on at the end.
You're both the navigator and the DJ.
Directions and DJ are priority to water, food, and pain meds. Got it. I mean, it's been 18 hours. Surely he's hungry. No, sorry. Music first. Yep, it works for the visual, but why the f*** would Rando Beach with a dirt road up a mountain out of here have a government-sanctioned sign with the distance to Cape Horn, which is f***ing 3796 kilometers away? That's nearly as far as the United States is across. You don't leave a beach in North Carolina on a dirt road and see a sign that says Los Angeles, 2,500 miles, Little Rock, 700.
What's this envelope with tickets to Cape Horn?
Tickets were sent to his parents, but f*** her sister.
The rum is gone.
Why is the rum gone? Dorothy? While I go look for him, why don't you grab this curious gentleman right here?
Why did you tell Brian that I was your buddy?
Who left the fridge open?
About whom then? Simon Feck?
That's the worst name I ever heard.
June, I've been trained to dismantle a bomb in the pitch black with nothing but a safety pin and a junior mint.
Not on a tree, he's flying on rooftops!
My name is Antonio Quintana.
Prepare to die.
Oh no! And here it comes! Don't tell me! I think we're at... Oh, there go the sunglasses! I'll bet you I can jump from this couch to the counter. Check it. Eagle!